Welcome to Module 3. In this module, we're going to take an adventure and study trigonometry. Trigonometry is one of the most applicable math topics that we study in advanced math. This is because it's involved in everything from architecture to drawing to engineering and looking at weight-bearing objects, as well as some of the most basic principles of navigation and GPS usage. So even your cell phone uses technology that involves trigonometry. In this week, we will also explore different topics on how we can teach this effectively. Again, this is a math course, but we really want to hone in on how do we make the art of teaching integrate with mathematical topics. So after you finish your reading and your videos, there's a discussion that's going to talk about authentic assessment. And authentic assessments are not your typical test or quiz. They're assessments where we can put things into the context of the real world as much as possible to help students gain some understanding of how this might be used in a career or in a real world situation. Now, obviously, it's not always possible to have authentic assessment, but this week's discussion is going to challenge you to think about it. Make sure to read the background information to understand what authentic assessment is. It's also a really hot topic in education as we're experiencing the advancement of artificial intelligence. In math, we've always had graphing calculators and things like Mathway and different ways for students to be able to change pieces. And, sometimes they can get answers that way. But authentic assessment allows us to say, great, you have an answer, thumbs up. But how do we actually interpret it in the terms of the situation in the real world that we're given? After you're done with your discussion, you're going to move on to your assignment. And in your weekly assignment, you're probably going to need to draw a lot of the material for this week. So please feel free to use a separate sheet of paper to work your problems than the problem sheet so that you can draw. Seeing those drawings is incredibly helpful for me as I'm evaluating your ability to teach this topic. Because if you're standing at the whiteboard, you're going to need to give students a reference that's an image so that they can connect what the opposite and the hypotenuse look like and how to label things, as well as how to use an angle as a compass point. So it's going to be important to see that this week. In your knowledge check, you will once again have 2 attempts to complete that, and you will be able to look at your answers after the first attempt to adjust and to make way. Feel free to use the Web 2.0 free online scientific calculator this week. That's going to be a really important tool over the coming weeks. I will be making a post about this, but this is definitely a key tool for you to be able to use to be successful in this class. Last, be sure that you wait to round until the very end. So if you're doing multiple step calculations in trigonometry, we always want to round only at the very end. Welcome to Module 3. I hope you have a great experience with trigonometry.